Erev Tov Chavrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Troubling situation with Israel, and of course with that with Syria and even Iran. President Putin just visiting with the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu here, trying to bring about some peace there in the region, and especially after the recent shooting down of or destroying of the artillery battery there inside of Syria, as Israel was doing a reconnaissance mission near the Syrian border. Something that's not going over too well with President Bashar al-Assad, and now the Iranians are warning, the military chief warns that Israeli violations of Syria are unacceptable. And he's even vowing that he would fight with President Bashar al-Assad if it comes down to a war between Israel and that of Syria. As I keep watching what's going on, as I begin to see other articles that are popping up as well, like this one here on WMD, watch will Israel and Syria go to war. Naftali Bennett also weighing in on this, that Israel is going to stand for their own protection regardless of if anybody is there with them or not. So he's kind of implying the United States, whether or not the United States is going to help Israel in any type of confrontation. As far as with Syria there, or with Syria with Iran, or with Hezbollah, etc. And I do realize it is a touch-and-go situation, especially when we're dealing with Iran in the region here for Israel. Iran, Hezbollah, both arch enemies of Israel, and at the same time, Bashar al-Assad in times past has been trying to make peace with Israel. But as tensions continue to mount, it don't look like that Bashar al-Assad is going to be much more for wanting to have peace in the region if things do not change very rapidly. President Bashar al-Assad was saying that he hopes that President Putin could help negotiate the situation with Israel, that it does not escalate any further than what it already has. And of course, if Israel gets involved in a war with Syria, that could also drag Russia into the mix, especially if Russian forces are hit either by Israeli forces or even that of the U.S. forces there. Very volatile situation indeed. Turning on the other note here, I want to just kindly bring out to you as well something going on in North Korea here. There's been some articles that have come out. This one here, could North Korea's 4,300 tanks crush America in a war? Well, you know, in reality, no. That's just not going to happen. But a sizable force that North Korea has? Absolutely. North Korea has a massive force there. They have the fourth largest infantry military in the world, as well as 200,000 special forces. The article goes into that here, that is on taskandpurpose.com. Very interesting article. But it also shows that the U.S. is also making some strategic movements here. RT is reporting that the U.S. deployed 3,500 strong armored brigade to South Korea amid the mounting tensions with the North. Now, of course, that being the armored brigade, does that mean 3,500 tanks, or is that a combination of tanks as well as armored vehicles? North Korea has 4,300 tanks, and they have some 3,000 armored vehicles as well. So if the U.S. is actually combining these two together, is still North Korea outnumbered. Of course, the superiority of the Abrams tank to that of those of North Korea is a major difference, but North Korea has invested a lot of money in always updating their own armaments. Still no comparison to the United States, but nonetheless, in some of the articles that we've looked at here, clearly shows that North Korea could inflict some severe damages to South Korea, even without nuclear weapons involved. There would be a massive loss of life for the South Koreans. No wonder why the South Korean president does not want to see war, but unfortunately, it looks like the U.S. may end up going regardless. One other article I wanted to bring up to your attention here that I thought was very interesting. The former president of Afghanistan is also accusing the U.S. of colluding with ISIS. And in fact, if you begin to look at the article, he even talks about how that the helicopters that are unmarked coming in, giving support, unmarked foreign helicopters providing support to the terrorists. He's talking about ISIS in his country. He's accusing the United States of aiding the ISIS militants inside of his country for destabilization purposes. very troubling trend that we keep seeing on this issue when it comes to ISIS. Sorry about the shaky camera, holding this here with one hand here. Getting back in the swing here, guys. We've been dealing with some doctor visits here, so we just haven't been able to get full attention devoted to news and teaching, but I have been working on an incredible message I can't wait to share with you about Joseph, some insights you've never even thought about before. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun with Israeli News Live. Quick take of the broadcast. Pray for us. We will be praying for you as well. Shalom.